So the economic calendar. Well, a good day. Elon says shit's gonna start opening up. Richard Parsons sets down CPS over health issues. AI sweeping in industries. Bombardier sues Mitsubishi jet program over trade secrets. Strong economy draws women into workforce. Bullish, bearish, bearish, bullish. Economic calendar. We have Red Book tomorrow, which is a store-by-store sales growth in general merchandise. There's a year-by-year, store-by-store. Oh, dude, that puts the fucking link. Fuck. Good morning. Welcome to the Dan Dunn Show. So, last week sucked. We started out, wasn't too great. Anyway, we got a phone number. We got some calls. It's up on the screen. Call that phone number if you want to talk. Talk about anything you want market related. So this week we got a lot of earnings coming out. We got AMD, we got Intel, we got Verizon, we got McDonald's, we got Lockheed Martin, we got Caterpillar. I think we got Boeing later in the week. We got all these earnings. We got earnings on earnings on earnings. But so this is a huge earnings week. I think we got Amazon, we got Microsoft. Anyway, another thing that's happening this week is the Red Book's coming out, which is a year-by-year, store-by-store sales and growth in general merchandise. That's a big deal for people, you know. If you're in retail, that matters to you. Another thing that's coming out is the Richmond Fed Manufacturing Index, which is a gauge of activity in manufacturing and shipping, new orders, and employment. The EU Consumer Confidence Flash, which isn't the full report, it's just an update. But that should matter because Europe with Italy, so that should be exciting to see what happens there. But we got the Beige Book coming out, the Bank Reserve, new home sales. Home sales was a problem last week. They were talking about how things were slowing. Mortgage application, housing prices. We got the GDP coming out on Friday. We got consumer settlement coming out on Friday. We have a natural gas report and jobless claims on Thursday. So we got a pretty important week coming up on that side. Things that happened over the weekend is oil didn't move too much. Oil held steady. It was fine. The Iran sanctions might have pushed it up a little bit, but for the most part, it looks like it will be okay. Elon came out in a tweet and said that the first tunnel that he's digging for his thing is almost done. It's going to be open in December. So that's where Mr. Musk is. Anyway, if you guys wanted to call the show, you call 855-584-5777. You call it, I'll answer it. You'll be on the Dan Dunn Show. Just call it with your phone. Doesn't matter. But yeah, when you call, I'll pull up a chart, and if you want to explain something or just talk shit about someone, just do it. And yeah, so futures are green. Hasbro missed its earnings report on Toys R Us fallout. Corporate profits look like they should rise. A solid 5 to 15% in the next year. That's no report. That's just looking at things. China had a pump last night. They're up 4%. Their market. That's kind of absurd. I mean, it's not absurd. They had a really good day, but we should be dragged up from that. And anyway, so we got MU. So MU is something that I wanted to talk about. So we just went through a market sell-off, right? And if you looked at MU's chart from this market sell-off, you would notice that it's really not that bad. They didn't get hit as hard as other techs, other chip makers. Like AMD's fallen off a wall. They went from 32. They're up like 3% pre-market today. But Micron just fell off a wall. And if Micron survived that sell-off like they did, long term they aren't selling. We might be reaching a bottom with Micron. So but we might be reaching a bottom with Micron, which is surprising for me to say because I've been bearish on Micron for a long time. I think that they made too many chips, and I feel like that whole sector was going to get hurt by how much inventory they had. But Micron not selling off. Just looking at it from that. Let me pull up this real quick. So what I'm using here is a free site, and I think that I'll just be able to use this and not have anyone say anything. I didn't even make a membership to this site, but so hold on, let me transition the screen here. All right. So this is Micron's year chart. Let's look at the 3-month. So in 3 months, when was this market sell-off? This market sell-off started right around here. So it fell from 46 down to 40. I don't think that's as bad as what AMD did. I don't think that's as bad at all. I mean, it fell, but it didn't fall that much. And I just don't think. I think that they weathered the storm pretty well. I don't see a real chart set up here. Maybe a double bottom, but I just don't see. I see there being some sort of resistance here at 40. I just think that MU might be worth some sort of swing if you got faith in it. But that's me looking at MU. I don't know if I'm right on that. I really don't follow MU day to day. I was just looking at MU's chart, and that's what I'm seeing on this. But AMD is up like 3% pre-market, so that's really good. It's good for what it's been doing. They report later in the week, and they should have a run-up on before earnings. So AMD, that's a nasty looking chart. If you ask me, that kind of looks like a bubble. You know, kind of palatial. We had a little bit of euphoria, and we're coming back down. That might be a nice little bull trap with it. So AMD could plant itself back at 14. Right? What's the return to normal here? It's probably this here. So, I mean, it's around 14 to 16. We might have bubbled out on AMD a little bit. But, again, that's just looking at a chart. We have an earnings report later on in the week. We're going to have an earnings report later on in the week. It's going to, we'll see what happens. They could come out and crush earnings, and Intel could come out and they could miss earnings. But the chart setups on both of these companies is looking like we might be seeing something else. And, you know, AMD really put the guns out there on Intel. And they got rewarded for it. Definitely got rewarded for it. And Intel took a beating from it. But now we might be returning back to the norm. And that is what we're going to have to deal with here. Anyway, if you guys have questions or anything, if you have questions, you could try to put it in the chat. I might not see that right away because I'm talking, but I got things going on. You can put it over in the chat. You could call the number up here. Which way does it go? It goes this way. Just call that number. But yeah, the point of this show is to not take it too seriously. I can make comments about this stock market that other people just, everyone I seem to talk to just can't. I look at it differently. You'll see that over time if this keeps going. You'll see that over time. But yeah, today looks pretty good. Today looks like we're going to follow China. Looks like it was a 4% up day. Looks like we have a lot of earnings coming so far. Hasbro missed. The toy maker, they missed because Toys R Us isn't buying from them anymore. It's what you could expect. It you know, it is what it is. But the futures are green. It looks green. We're opening in like 10 minutes here. Love to get a phone call and someone doing anything, but it is what it is. So phone calls will come the better I do my report. But so that is the morning here. Let's see if I can pull up some other news here. But just Halliburton beat its estimates. Profits edged past estimates. Hasbro revenue misses estimates as Toys R Us blows lingers. Toy maker Hasbro reported the bigger than expected drop in quarterly revenue as the bankruptcy of long-term consumer Toys R Us weighed on sales in the United States and Europe, sending its shares down 4.5% in early trading. Stocks to watch: Halliburton, Hasbro. This guy's saying Rainier Holdings. Deals of the day is Blackstone Group, Jacobs Engineering Group, JEC, KKR and Company, ticker KKR. Other news: I'm reading this off a website, but the company's chief executive, Apple, the company's CEO Tim Cook on Friday told an online news website that Bloomberg should retract the story that claims Apple internal computer systems have been infiltrated by malicious computer chips inserted by Chinese. So that whole thing with where Apple had their stuff compromised and they're still selling products through it and all that, you know, it started. So Apple might not have known about it, but it started at the Chinese chip manufacturing that they were putting in like micro chips smaller than small, and they were putting those chips. They're saying that's absolutely false and it should be retraced by Bloomberg. They want an apology, but a long list of things. The new North American trade agreement ends key legal protections for many U.S. businesses operating in Mexico, leaving their operations exposed to a risk. Leaving their operations exposed to a risk they had avoided under the old trade deal. So, I don't know. I didn't see anything about that, but just. That's what's going on over there. Look at what the earnings did this morning. So, Limelight Network reported Friday morning. They're up 5% pre-market here. That's a $4.46 stock. They blew out their earnings. But down, anything major down, nothing too big. On Friday night earnings. This morning's earnings... We had a lot not a lot this morning. We have a lot tonight going off. We got 7.5% on PetMed Express, Pets as the ticker. Lennox International, Intel, Lennox INTL Inc. is down 5.75%. It's down $11. That is a $180 stock. They must have really hurt. Actually, I was looking at that chart. There's really no floor if they miss their earnings again. That one could fall. I would be watching that. I saw that AI is sweeping industries, right? So that could be something to watch. I know that Micron has something with AI, but Micron could be something to watch. Anyway, as the market's opening, I gave my morning report, and this is at the point where I would start rambling. So I want to avoid rambling as much as I can. I think it just kills the value, and why would you watch someone ramble? So this is when I would turn to the callers to call in. Just talk randomly if you have to. I mean, not randomly if you have to, but to float the show. And I want to do this show in segments. So I'll come on in the morning. I'll do my thing. I'll be off. Go to trading. Go to work if you work. Do your thing. I want to do a midday update, maybe two midday updates, and I'll do a closing report on the market, and I'll take calls. What I'm looking for is people taking big bets, people taking big losses, even minor losses. It doesn't matter. I just want to hear what, and you don't have to tell me what you're actively open, but if you just close something, what was your play? What were you looking at? Talk about yourself like you're the smartest man in the world for 5 minutes on the Dan Dunn Show. But I think that would be good content. I think that I would watch that show, and no one was making a show like that, so I went out and I made a show like that. I think that this could be fun. I think that this could be something. I wouldn't do it if I didn't think it would be something. But yeah, that's my spiel. If there's no phone calls, that's fine. I could ramble on some more. There's no comments in the YouTube chat. That's fine. But I was reading Barron's, and it looks like they were talking to a bunch of people, a bunch of CEOs or whatever, or not the hedge fund managers. They were talking to hedge fund managers, and I don't know if I'm legally allowed to show this. I don't want to get sued, dude. That would suck. But this chart right here, that chart on what these guys are thinking, right? So first off, you gotta assume that this is all bullshit. Markets are opening in 2 minutes, but this is all bullshit. This is all pre-assumed shit. Like if you were a hedge fund manager and you got invited to do a Barron's article, you know how many people do you assign to work on what exactly I'm going to say? Prepared for everything. So they went into this knowing exactly what they were going to say. These are fake numbers as far as I'm concerned. But the one thing that I'll say is that the last time that graph broke into the white of the people who thought it was overvalued, it dipped a little bit, but it went on a big run. So I'm not too concerned with what this actual green means, but dude, they're saying that it's overvalued in this article, or it's more favored that it's overvalued. This is what hedge fund managers are thinking. I think that I think it might be closer to the fairly valued side. Maybe not overvalued, but closer to the fairly valued side. But anyway, that was that. They had some other stuff too. Bullish on this, bearish on that. And so here was another one. Are you beating the S&P S&P 500 this year? 54% said no personally, and 46% said yes personally. So these are hedge fund managers who can't beat the S&P. I beat the S&P this year, but professionally, 56 said no, 44 said yes. So I mean, they got to play their hedges or whatever. But dude, I just laughed when I read that, quite frankly, and that's the bullshit. That's the bullshit right there. But yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm losing viewers. I'm losing my steam. It's market open. Best of luck to you. That's the morning day update. There was no calls. There was nothing up there, so I get to stop talking. Have a good day, everybody.